Hello everyone, this is Father of the Everchosen, coming back to you on a Tuesday with some more quick battles. So let's jump in, and like I had said last time, we will be playing as the dwarves this month. So while we're loading in, we'll try to use what I learned last week. Definitely grabbing the Runesmith. Gonna get rid of Forge Fire, mainly for that effective range of 40 meters. I just don't think it's worth it. But the Hammer of Characterise, I think, definitely can be helpful. The minus 30 weapon damage, minus 40 melee attack against somebody, especially if we're playing the Empire. Putting that on Karl Franz, Volkmar the Grim, Boris up on, his Hippogriff, or his Griffin, not Hippogriff. And I think maybe just a generic Dwarf Lord. Don't think we need Foe Seeker. The Star Metal plate so that he can be in melee. And that minus 9 melee is pretty huge. I think we'll grab the Iron Warden's Hammer as well for perfect vigor. Just keeping him in the fight. Simple Dwarf Warriors should work pretty well. They'll definitely go toe-to-toe with any Empire infantry. Grab the Dwarf Warriors with great weapons, just in case I need to break apart something like, if I can catch anything like Demigryph Knights, or if they do have Volkmar, the AP will be helpful. I think I'm gonna grab the Dragonback Slayers. Yeah, because of this. The power of the Dragonback, the minus 36 speed, and the weakness to fire. Regular Slayer. I think, again, just like last time, I like the gyrocopters with brimstone guns. I think they're good for scouting. If I had to take out anything like artillery, the bombing run can be pretty nice. We'll grab the Goblobber, mainly for the discourage leadership effect. And I think we're going to grab just some basic quarrelers. And it might be risky, but I think I'm going to take these Iron Drakes because if they do have something like, again, Volkmar, Karl Franz up on, Deathclaw, this will be able to tear them apart. And as long as I keep them protected with the Slayers, I should be okay. And like last time, I should have checked the battle map just to see if artillery was really the right thing to pick. It does seem like artillery will be fine. I've got the woodland on my side, but should have clear line of sight to anything that they're throwing at me. Alright. And like last week, I will be playing 2 battles. I think that's pretty good. Keeps it right around a half hour. Easy to digest. Put the Goblobber right here, just on the edge of the woods. Regular Slayers right by it. Dwarf Warrior line. Too spread out on that one. Put these guys off to the flanks. Keep these guys here. Quarrelers in these gaps. Skirmish mode off. We're going to keep the Troll Hammer torpedoes in reserve. Keep them hidden for now. And regular Lord. And Runesmith. And then we'll put the gyrocopters. I like having them together, mainly because then I can kite. If somebody's chasing one, I can back off with the other and start firing. And I think I think we're ready. Start battle. Grab these guys first. Just so that I can immediately kind of come up, scout over here. Make sure that they're not trying to, you know, send a force around. Anything that would be Vanguard deployed should be able to take the Slayers. Obviously, Pistoliers are going to have a hard time with the shield. So as soon as he's ready, he or she is ready, we'll get on to this battle. Alright, so they do have Boris Todbringer up there. They've got a Witch Hunter, and they've got a Great Cannon. But they don't have, as far as I can tell, any other. Hopefully, if they do have anything ranged, they're going to have something like Hunters. Should pass over these guys. Just a second. Oh, that was a good one. That was a miss. Let these guys take them out. Alright, and they've got Flagellants off to the side there. Let's reposition the Dwarf Warriors. Drag these guys back. These guys come back a little more. Right now, good. Should be able to kite him around. Hopefully take out this Great Cannon. Send these guys off to this side. Alright. Amber Wizard off to the side. Get them off to there. Pick this guy off. Slow down those great swords. Keep them out of the battle longer. Like I said the last time, my micro is pretty bad. I need to get better with it. That's why the dwarves I thought were a good pick, because they're micro unintensive. They do have handgunners, which is not too bad. Let's get these guys back. Nothing's Vanguard deployed behind. Alright. Let's get our Dwarf Lord over here. Gonna try to save the Troll Hammer torpedoes for Boris. The Great Cannon is broken, which is good. Gonna try to move him off, save him from the handgunners. Hopefully that Great Cannon does not come back. Oh, the Lord there. Armor. Alright, I should be able to pull these guys off to the side. Rear charge.
Yes, yes. Move now. Pull out. Take them down. Move.
Alright. Both gyrocopters are lost as a result of poor micro on me. Hopefully these swordsmen break here in a minute. Dwarf Lord should be fine. Slow them down. Alright. Change targets there. Alright. So we got the Witch Hunter back here, which is unfortunate. Them head them off. The Lord and the Runesmith should be fine there. I think we're going to have to use some of the Troll Hammer torpedoes right here on this Witch Hunter. I know he's probably not the best target, but he's going to take damage. Actually, we're going to change onto the great swords. Great swords will be a better target. Alright. Have those dwarf warriors rear charge. This side of the line's pretty much collapsed. See if I can change targets a little bit. And there's Boris. And he's in the Iron Drakes, which is exactly where I don't want him. Let's move these guys off. If I can keep him on the ground. Yeah, it looks pretty poor right now. Sigmar's sons definitely just held on far longer than I figured that they would.
Go! Strike out! Plow through!
Amber Spear
Hook those dwarf
was able to mitigate that as best I could. Alright.
Pick your targets well! Withdraw! Go! Down! Move now!
See, probably no way to pull this back.
Runes of smiting upon them! War of vengeance!
Yeah, almost. Yeah. Slayers are the only thing, but I concede defeat. There was no way, there was no reason to keep both of us in that. So, Goblover, good pick. Dragonback Slayers, good pick. Even the Quarrelers, good pick. Again, like I said in the beginning, the Iron Drakes were probably way too risky of a pick. They're just such a high point value target, and they get bombed out. And with overcommitting my forces, definitely didn't have the protection that they needed. And losing the gyrocopters, yeah, I know the one took out the Great Cannon and kept it to 1 kill, but it doesn't really matter when you have the Great Swords come up and, you know, get 127, 87, 65. And then Sigmar's sons, you know, them being unbreakable definitely is a challenge. I think had I played that battle again, I would keep one of the gyrocopters back and probably not commit the forces. Have them come to me, use the strength of the Goblover, my Quarrelers, and then even with this setup, keeping the Iron Drakes protected, would have been able to probably either heavily damage Boris or damage the Amber Wizard. I didn't even check, but I think he might have been on a horse, so he would have been a large target. So let's try to jump into another one and hopefully get a victory with this. Use what I've learned over, you know, the last 3 matches. So the first thing I am going to do is check the battle map. So, settings. Alright, so there's going to be a big forest, but should be a relatively open area. So, should be alright there. Switch to the dwarves. Again, Runesmith, I think, is just a necessary pick. I'm going to leave the Hammer of Characterized. I think let's go with Thorgrim Grudgebearer this turn, or this time around. Super expensive, but the High King, you know, affecting allies in range, which is map wide, you know, the just huge buffs he gives. Don't need Foe Seeker. Oath of Vengeance. It's 72, so it's not, you know, it's not like I'm saving that much by not taking it. Stand your ground, I'll keep. Items, definitely will take the Great Book of Grudges, plus 9 melee attacks, huge. We're going up against Chaos, it looks like. So, Longbeards. Maybe. Let's go with Dwarf Warriors with great weapons. 3 Longbeards. Just a unit of Slayers. Gyrocopter with Brimstone Gun. I think the cannons, you know, the anti-large of them, if they bring something like a Shaggoth, I think will be helpful. Or even possibly sniping out somebody like Sartorial. I know that he's got, you know, resistances and he's pretty slippery, but I think might be a good pick. Grab 2 Thunderers. You know, the armor piercing is definitely what I'm going to be needing up against Chaos. And I wonder if instead of a unit of Slayers, maybe taking the Giant Slayers. I know that they're not, you know, anything really to write home about, but that added anti-large, you know, for 300 more cost, and I don't really know what else I was going to bring. Maybe a unit of Iron Breakers. Take out a Longbeard. Man, if I could only save a little bit more money-wise. That's 143. Let's see if I can get 2 miners with blasting charges. And we'll go with that. So the hope is the miners with blasting charges really are just there for the disruption. The Longbeards are what's going to have to hold. Obviously the Dwarf Warriors with great weapons, just there for the AP value. Hopefully keeping those 2 cannons alive. Obviously I'm assuming they're going to use this to their full advantage, this wooded area. Because the logical setup is to set up on this hill, use the advantage of having your cannon and your Thunderers above your warriors, and have them hold here on the road. But if they go through the Blood Pine Wood, then it mitigates the use of your artillery and your range. So what I'm going to do is probably set up more like over here. So if they do have to come out of the wood, then, you know, I'm getting a lot more fire onto them. Hopefully they bring, you know, not a heavy Marauder build or Forsaken. Obviously the Forsaken will die in droves, but the speed and the lower point cost than things like, you know, Chosen or Chaos Warriors means that they can field more numbers and they can stretch their line wider than mine, which that's kind of the name of the game. And if they have things like Kolek or Sartorial, it could be a challenge as well. So like I said, setting up over here, I think will give you a good line of sight for the cannons. And then put, you know, the Longbeards here in the front. High King Thorgrim Bridgebearer. And then get the Dwarf Warriors off to the sides. And if they bring a Hell Cannon, then I'll have to move my line a little bit. But short of that, they're not going to have anything that can do crazy amounts of damage besides magic. But with the magic resistance of dwarves, I think I should be fine. Giant Slayers off to the side. Runesmith there. And let's place our Thunderers here in the gaps. And these iron breakers are definitely going to be just right up here in the front. Wide. Get them in this pretty large open area. Hopefully get them to throw their, 2 satchels real quick. Do as much damage as I can.
For the ancestor gods, ready to serve. For the High King, thunderers, honors.
And
For the ancestors, cannon.
we'll shift these guys just a little off to the side. If they vanguard deployed, having these giant slayers here. And then the gyrocopter. Alright. So it looks like they went with Archaon the Everchosen and Mirror Guard, Chaos Warriors Chosen, the weird spawn. Doesn't seem like, if you look at the mini-map, there's no Vanguard deployed, which is really good. Very helpful for me. Let's see if I can get a nice bombing run. These are just Marauders. So, something more like these Chaos Warriors. They've got Chaos Warhounds with poison. That was a bad bombing run. That was a good one. Wipe out these weird spawn. The sundered armor definitely will be a problem. Oh, I've got chariots here. That a gore beast chariot, yes. Make sure that I've got that being fired upon. Have these miners shift over. Hold your fire. Wasted one satchel charge on them. Right. Hold them in place. Let's shift him over just a bit. Alright, these aspiring champions. Good pick. Get these thunderers. Shit. That was a fantastic firestorm. I don't think they could have asked for anything better. Alright. It's a little laggy, probably dropping a few frames there. I think it has to do with everybody and their mother being on right now with, the coronavirus. Everybody's, sheltering in place. But hopefully, keeping my lord safe and healthy. Yeah, I think these Chaos Warhounds are going to get the cannons out of position. Don't chase, don't chase. Alright. If I can catch that Gore Beast chariot, it will be a huge boon. Let's see if I can shoot down the line on these Chosen with great weapons. That'll definitely help. Alright. Right now. Whoop. Alright. Let's see. The Gore Beast chariot is moving again. Probably going to go after these Thunderers. Thorgrim's still alive. This cannon. Shoot at the Mirror Guard, I think. Would be the best bet. That's what I didn't do. Skirmish mode and guard mode. Let's see if I can get him out of there in time. Alright, Oak and Steel.
Thunderous!
The battle is still close. You know, these iron breakers are holding still. Alright. Again, doing something risky. Arming the cannon. Yep, that probably should have been pretty predictable. Probably. I don't know if it did get them or not. Probably not. And then just chase down here. Send the miners in and the... No, we'll send the Great Warrior, or the Great Weapon Warriors here against Chaos Marauders. Just have these miners tie down these Chosen for just the briefest of moments. Right now, Archaon's pretty low. The balance of power is actually in my favor. I think due in part to still having both the Rune Smith and Thorgrim. Alright, who's coming back? Let's pull these guys back in. These guys back in. Shoot the Gore Beast. Rearm. As long as these Warhounds route, should be alright. I know gyrocopters probably shouldn't be charging in, but if they can get them off the battlefield, that would be a huge boon. Slow those Chosen down even more. Alright. Let's see what I can do. The Chaos Warhounds did round off. So all in all, I'm pretty sure this will end up being a victory. Definitely still a few mistakes. Shooting my own cannon, probably I would chalk that up as a mistake. A humorous mistake, but a mistake nonetheless. Not recognizing that there was a Gore Beast chariot. If I could have picked it off a little earlier, might not have suffered so heavily in the back. And I don't care as much about saving the replays this time around. But Iron Breakers, always just a great pick. You know, just a solid core. Even and these miners with blasting charges did excellent. I'm sure they only killed, Chaos Marauders because they didn't get any chevrons, but still, getting those Chaos Marauders or Poison Warhounds, very helpful. The gyrocopter picked up an experienced chevron. The first bombing run, definitely should have done better. Should have had better placement with it. Could have taken them out a little earlier. A few more enemies. Thunderer's good. The cannons, I guess you have to weigh the options when you're going up against Chaos. If you don't bring the cannons and you bring something like a Grudge Thrower up against Shaggoths, it's not going to be as useful. But when you bring cannons up against a heavy infantry army and you want to use, or you think that the enemy is going to use the woods more so than they did, and you don't have that elevated position, the cannons are going to have block line of sight, and they're going to, only rack in a small number of kills. But, Thorgrim, super survivable. That, the hex that he has, putting that on Archaon, that was when Archaon started to drop really heavily. The Runesmith, always good with the Rune of Negation. Some people don't bring the Rune of Oath and Steel because bumping your armor up past 100 sometimes is a little unnecessary. And when you look, armor piercing, armor piercing, armor piercing, armor piercing, armor piercing, armor piercing, everything there was pretty much armor piercing. Did it do a lot? Maybe not, but in the fight against, you know, maybe the aspiring champions, I can't remember if they are or not. But all in all, I think I, did a little better this time. Maybe not the best player to go up against, but I learned from the mistakes of the first one, and then I got to remember to check the battle map to see what is the right equipment that I should bring, whether I should bring artillery or not. But I think that's going to be it for me. As always, if you enjoyed the content today or the content over the last week, I welcome you to subscribe, like, and share the videos around, and maybe this will get a little more traction right now with everybody being home with the coronavirus scare. You got nothing but time to sit there and watch things. So stay safe, and I will see you on Friday with the Von Karstein campaign.